What's up, everybody? Welcome to the second edition of the Marvel Strike Force Insider podcast segment of the Overachievers Gaming Podcast. I am your host, Vvash, joined as always by my buddy Dominic, aka Ashy Pastrami. And this week we have Khasino joining us. Welcome, gentlemen. How's it going?
The one and only. Good. Super good.
What's going on?
You can find us at og.podcast on Instagram, OverachieversP on Twitter, patreon.com/overachievers. And then, as always, you can get this episode and our regular podcast wherever you get your podcasts, and also beingoverachiever.com. You can find Khasino at twitch.tv/Khasino, right? Khasino.
That is
right?
Correct.
Great.
Every day, 1 p.m.
Fantastic. 1 p.m. What is that? Pacific? Great. So yeah, you can find Khasino streaming on twitch.tv/Khasino every day at 1 p.m. Pacific time, streaming Marvel Strike Force. I'm sure everyone here knows him quite well already.
Oh, yeah.
So this week was a doozy. We got a lot of information this week in the Marvel Strike Force community, more or less about the new upcoming characters, specifically 4 of them, plus 1. With the Fantastic Four and Namor, which I had no idea who Namor was. I had to look him up. I was like, what?
It's Namor, real quick.
Namor, whatever.
The Submariner, the King of Atlantis, half Atlantean, half human, / also a mutant. Super crazy character in the comics.
Slashes.
Namor is like throughout the history of the Marvel Universe has been in and out of being a good guy or a bad guy. Very conflicted character, very complex character. Recently, not the best of guys, is currently fighting the Avengers in the comics. Fun fact. Really interesting they chose to go Namor with the Fantastic Four. Like, they don't really have a connection comic-wise, but, I mean, I'm sure they have a reason. I was expecting Doom, but...
Weren't they, like, somewhere... Like Namor was like in love with the Invisible Woman at some point or something like that. I don't know.
I don't remember that.
Maybe. Oh, no. So they actually have a lot of entanglement with the Fantastic Four. Namor has both worked with them and fought against them. He's kind of like an anti-hero, kind of like a Venom type character. Yeah. But so the main reason that Namor is coming this patch is because this patch is celebrating the Marvel 80th anniversary. And the very first Marvel comic ever, Marvel #1, had Namor.
Yeah.
Oh,
the Submariner himself.
Yeah, that's why. It's funny because Namor actually came out before DC's fucking
Aquaman. Oh, Aquaman. He way predates Aquaman.
Which is very interesting.
Cooler.
Dude, he flies. He has a cool fucking like click. He has the Defenders of the Deep. They're cool as fuck. Like,
yeah, he's got a big scary sea creature. Yeah, he's just so much meaner.
Well, also the Phoenix Force inhabited him for a very short time when the line of Avengers vs. X-Men. That was a wild event. Yeah, super cool character. It's interesting, very interesting.
And I don't know if this is like prevalent in all of his comics, but at least the game iteration of him, he's got the Vegeta hairstyle, so I'm a fan.
Yeah. That's right. I'm stoked about that. I mean, yeah, that's the nice thing is Dami knows all the comic backstory with all the stuff.
I actually didn't know that that predates my knowledge. So like my knowledge comes mostly from like, I don't know, maybe like end of 90s, 2000s up. I know a lot of the stuff right before Secret Wars, and then everything in the last like since 2000 pretty much is when
God. What were you doing in the 1940s?
And it's not even so much that obviously I wasn't born then. I'm going to get shit on. I'm so sorry, comic lovers. I just don't like older comics. I'm sorry. And I know like
blasphemy.
One of my best, Chris, dude, he gets so mad at me when I say I don't like the older art of comics. I don't like the stories. I don't like the older art. It's just.
I just want to say it was fun being on you guys' final episode.
That doesn't mean I like comics.
I fucking love comics. And we're good to go.
Yo, Secret Wars, anything Jonathan Hickman, Jason Aaron, and Jonathan Hickman are my favorite. Jonathan Hickman are my favorite comic writers. So whenever they write shit, I fucking get into it. Luckily Chris doesn't listen to this, so he's not gonna like literally crucify me, but we'll be fine.
Still might. I might let him know. I see him more often because he comes and hangs out with us.
Oh, he shit on me for this before. Because he's like, oh, you should read this thing, and I'm like, oh, dude, I just don't want to. I just
don't know
want to.
anything about the comics, and anytime I make any video talking about a character I'm not that familiar with, there's always a bunch of people in the comments on the video like, "You're such a filthy casual."
Of course, dude. You know what? Like the whole argument of being a casual in anything is so dumb to me. Just like what you like do what you do.
Look, if they were that popular, they'd have a movie. Okay.
Coming soon to a theater or TV near you.
Savage.
Name more.
I'm actually curious, real quick, Khasino. When you do your videos on like a character spotlight for upcoming characters, do they like send you the images of like how they'll look? Like I saw that like when you did Fantastic Four, you had that dope like. Okay, I figured that was the case.
Yep, that is part of the Envoy program. They will send us the art, and those are like high quality renders of the characters as they would appear in a trailer. And then the drawback is they send us the gameplay footage too, and so a lot of people will be like, "Oh, why didn't you do this? Why wouldn't you take them into this stage? You know, why would you record that? Why'd you use this person as the 5th on the team?" And I have to constantly explain, like, this is what they sent me. I don't have any access to this stuff.
Right. Well, that's good to know, and I'm sure you could scream that till the cows come home, but people will still ask that question.
Oh yeah, 100%. Well, they used to have a test server back in the day. Nowadays, not anymore. Which I wish they would do that.
So, if I'm not mistaken, eventually we are getting the test server back. I know they're working on it. I don't think there's a date or anything, but I know that they want to restore the test server. So.
Yeah, there was a bunch of bugs and problems with it, if I remember correctly. So
that makes sense. Test servers are always hard to do. I mean, like any game that does them, like that's why people join the test servers. Like, why is this breaking? Well, because the fucking test server, you ding dong.
It's like it's for testing.
Yeah, there's plenty of reasons why, and then it doesn't make them much money to have like 8 content creators kicking around and constantly being like, "This doesn't work on the test server."
Of course,
and they're like, "Why?"
It makes sense.
Open this thing?
I get it. I fucking get it. But still cool though. I liked your video. Like, you're right. I'm really excited to see the animations of Mr. Fantastic. I think that's gonna be cool as shit.
Something tells me it's gonna be close to Ms. Marvel.
Probably, but like the difference is Miss Marvel in the comic or in the game only really punches far. It'd be cool if they have. I mean, granted, she gets big in the comics. Like she like does that a lot. But I'd be interested to see like if they make if like he does like Reed Richards does any like the wraparounds or anything, because he does it a lot in the comics where he wraps around his opponents. I don't know. We'll see.
That I imagine would be pretty tough to do because of all the different character models being all different sizes.
Oh yeah, fair. Well, we'll see. I don't know. I think it's so cool. Like Fantastic Four is a cool group. I think that I think it'll be cool. I just want more characters, and I love that we have this ability to that they'll just constantly give us more characters from this universe that I fucking love. So,
there's a slew of them. I don't know if you play Future Fight at all, but like you try to load that game up and you see it, like the character roster is just massive. You're just like, roster? Oh my god, oh yeah, it's literally every single character in the MCU or not MCU, but just Marvel Universe in itself. They have She-Hulk, they have Iron Hammer. It's crazy. Not to diverge a little bit, but like that would be. I would love to have an Iron Hammer in this game. That'd be great. Super
Iron
dope.
Hammer different than like Iron Patriot and stuff.
No, Iron Hammer
if I remember
is
correctly. Iron Hammer is the mixture of Thor and Iron Man from a divergent universe. Oh yeah, Infinity Corps. Yeah. So the current. We'll talk about that. We don't have to talk about this.
Anyway, either way. So with that, so it's like they got announced. The Fantastic Four got announced with those 5. We've only seen their passives, which I'm kind of excited to talk about a little bit. That was what they. Who released that info? Was it officially released through Fox Next, or was it?
Yep.
Yeah. So they gave us all the passives. If you want to speak to that a little bit, that'd be rad.
Just to kind of explain how that works. So the Envoy program is both official and unofficial communication. It is information given straight from Fox Next to a select approved list of content creators. So the info came straight from them, and it's not paid work or anything. We're not employees of theirs or anything. It's a volunteer program where we agree to make videos if we're getting the information. And so, they'll give us the information and say, you can't talk about it until this date. And we usually get it like 2 days early, so it's never enough time to do anything with it. And then we throw together quick videos and we put them out. But just want to kind of explain how that works for people, because some people are confused. And then also, they will sometimes change things. For example, they've given the envoys batches of information several times and put a disclaimer like, this is where it's at now. None of this stuff is released look, we might change it between now and when it comes out, but
Phoenix.
This is where it's at.
Sorry, I was coughing.
Yes, Phoenix. Now, they squeaked by on a technicality on that one in that they never explicitly said 5-star unlock, but we had plenty of reason to believe it, and they totally went back on that one. But technically, they never said it. So
it's.
I'll never see Phoenix. I've already.
You will. Don't never say never. You'll get there eventually. It's like it's not a race. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon, Dom.
But I want her now.
That's open your wallet and make it happen. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Right.
So with all that and everything, so it's I know we talked about. Oh wait, we talked. I'll just work on this again. So what's? I know you had the video popped out with. That we can link in here, Khasino, explaining the passives for all the Fantastic Four and everything like that. So if you haven't seen that, go ahead and check that out. Put a link in the description below or to the right there, so you can scroll through and check that out. But you give us like a quick for if somebody hasn't seen that yet or about to see that after they listen to this. Can you give us like a quick overview of what those passives were?
Well, I mean, there's quite a bit to it.
Oh, really? Well, I guess maybe not.
They're pretty in-depth passives, but the short version is. Everyone on the team contributes something to the entire team. And so you don't have to have the entire team. Like, you can make hybrids, but I kind of like how they're designed. So in previous teams, they've put like everything onto the legendary. The legendary just gives tons of health, tons of damage, tons of focus, tons of armor. And, like on the Wakandans, Shuri is like half the team.
Right.
And so with this one, I like this direction a bit more, where you're incentivized to put them all. But so like one character will give everyone lots of armor, one character will give everyone lots of damage, one character will give everyone lots of health, etc. And so you don't, you can take one off if you're willing to sacrifice a certain stat or make up for it with someone else. But they all kind of contribute and fit together nicely, and they have good synergy. I like it.
Yeah. And if I remember correctly, it was war, right? They're more for war.
Well, so I don't know how much I'm allowed to say about this. So between then and now, I may or may not have gotten more information on the team. But
okay, well, let's not get you in trouble.
Well, I also like to toe the line a little bit, and it's only a couple days before people are going to probably find out anyway, if I had to guess. But so, if I remember from the passives, I think that the only character that had anything more specific was Namor. And so it kind of looks like the Fantastic Four themselves all work well with one another and make a solid team. And then the introduction of Namor as the fifth is like converts them to a war team. And so this has not been confirmed in any way, shape, or form. This is pure speculation on my part. But I am hoping that like in the future we'll get like Silver Surfer as a fifth, turns them into a raid team. Doctor Doom as a fifth, turns them into an arena team, stuff like that.
Oh, that's interesting. Right. So like the great thing about the Fantastic Four is that there's room for whoever the fifth is to make them viable in almost any gameplay.
That's I hope they go something like that.
And would be dope.
And then you can kind of main that team and have like an all-purpose, and they may not, be able to go toe-to-toe with the top arena team per se, but they'll be hopefully like a top arena team, in like the top 3. And so, you can kind of consolidate your resources and have a strong all-arounder team.
No, that's dope. No, that's a good point to make. I think that I'm excited to see that because they do have a lot of characters they interact with. So it would be interesting to see like different fits that you could have to really round out the team. That's awesome.
Yep, and I like them expanding the tags as much as obviously we all want new characters. I kind of like the idea of like each tag having like 10 to 12 characters, and so I'm hoping down the road you'll eventually kind of have that freedom to like just heavily invest in a tag and have enough of a rotating cast of characters within that tag to tackle most or all game modes. If you just pick I'm gonna go all in on Spider-Verse, but between the Spider-Verse heroes and the Spider-Verse villains and the Sinister Six and all that, I can always come up with some kind of combination that gets the job done.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. It just gives more variety and gives people more reason to want to play or make things their way. Because, I mean, that's what it is, really. It's just giving the players the chance and the ability to, come up with their own teams, and it just makes it more interesting. So, especially with the RNG element of having like red stars on different characters and different sorts of, everybody's teams are different. So even though there's a general same sense of like, hey, these teams work great together, but having those tags be kind of like the staple of a specific lineup, you could just, swap people in and out as you see fit based on whether you like them or not. So, which I think is pretty cool. Great. Awesome. And then, so this week's Blitz is Vulture, since that's what's happening this week. How are you guys doing on the Blitz so far?
I'm almost done. I nearly got to 100 today.
So what are you doing? Are you just doing the, are you trying to unlock Vulture via Blitz, or are you just trying to get to a certain point, or what are you just doing, milestones, or what are you doing, Dom?
I'm just trying. The way my teams are and the way like how I don't have enough teams right now to nearly free play Blitz. Like I know like that's like the nice thing about y'all having like a bunch of teams is you could just go through a shit ton of teams and barely use any of the medical supply. So I end up using a lot of medical supply to get to just 100%ing the Blitz, but I usually do get it. And then also the recovery on Sundays is always great for me. And what is it, Tuesday also, I think.
Yeah.
I usually just get to 100 and then kind of stop because I want to save some medical for the next time I can. But right now, like I'm 85% at being at the last milestone for Blitz, which is what I like to get. I like to 100% it and then kind of be done. I don't just like milestone it and then done. I do like to get some because I'm almost at Vulture anyway, but I won't be getting Vulture from Blitz.
Yeah, so you're just milestoning and chills.
Done as opposed to 100%. What's 100% for you?
I'm sorry. I meant to say daily and done. I do try to get 100% on the milestone, like every milestone, I should say.
Gotcha. Okay.
So 750K or whatever it is.
Yes. 750K.
Do you bank recharges?
I try. The thing is, I use so many. When you say recharge, you talking about like medical, like
the health recharges. Yeah.
Yeah, I use so much of them since I don't have many teams that actually can do Blitz well. I only really have like 4 or 5 maybe that can like do fairly well at like being like 50K over, like punching up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay.
Does that make sense? Is that wrong?
Yeah. I mean, I'd have to look at your roster. If you're, I know you're a newer player, and so it's very possible that you've just only got like 4 or 5 sure to win teams that can comfortably
and that's what it
punch
is.
out 50K.
I really only do have 4 to 5 like definitive. Like my tech team is I could punch up really well in. Shield I could punch up really well in. Brawlers are the best team I have for Blitz. Brawlers, it doesn't matter how far ahead another team is. They punch up perfectly. Defenders gets really iffy, as Charlie saw. I also fucked up. Charlie was watching me in stream as I was like punching up 60K on a defenders versus defenders matchup, and I just got.
I don't enjoy the defender mirror matchup unless you have the key to that is to make your Punisher and your Daredevil just way overpowered on that team, and to leave your Luke Cage kind of underpowered, and then you'll do pretty well in those mirror matches. But yeah, it's still just, if Daredevil keeps dodging and Iron Fist passive keeps going off, you can just get screwed by bad RNG there.
Yep.
See, that's the funny thing is my Daredevil is the highest I have. He's 51K at 7 stars with 5 red stars, but my Iron Fist is fairly low. So that's kind of tougher for me, but it's just time, really. I mean, you guys know.
I don't know what you're talking about. We all have free time, as much free time in the world as we can. None of us work at crazy hours. No, not at all.
Yeah. But soon enough.
This is my job, and I still am like, oh my god, 14 teams every 2 hours.
Yeah.
See, like that is like mind-boggling me that I don't know how you do it, man. I would die. That's a lot. 14 teams every 2 hours.
Yeah, it takes like 30 minutes to 40 minutes, and then an hour and 20 minutes later, they're ready to go again. So yeah, like, I get very little content done when there's a Blitz I care about.
Oh, that makes sense. Because I mean, the higher obviously you go past the last milestone, the more rewards you get back, right? That's how it works.
Yeah, they have ranked rewards. And I actually, for anyone trying to figure out what they have to score for each Blitz, I put out Blitz predictions on my Discord, discord.gg/Khasino. Every single Blitz, I make Blitz predictions. And so, every once in a while they're not dead on, but for the most part, they're very, very accurate.
Right.
And give you a pretty good idea of what to shoot for to get those ranked rewards. And so it pays to take a look because, especially if you're a newer player, I would really try to capitalize on the what I call the slower blitzes, because they'll usually have like a Monday blitz of a not super desirable character, like a character that's been out for a while, pretty farmable. And then a Thursday Blitz, which is like the new character Blitz that everyone's going to go hard for, like Vulture. Right. And so as a new player, like a lot of people are saving their charges and not going very hard. Like recently we had Yondu. And so while Yondu isn't like super high in demand, also the scores to get top 1500 for Yondu were under 3 mil. So as a newer player, I would really save up and try to capitalize on those and get those big chunks of shards, even though they're for older characters. It's still a great way to jump ahead.
Yeah, that makes sense. You have a better chance to you have a better chance to rank up more in the less desirable characters. That totally, that's nice.
And you know, getting that, you know, extra Yondu shards can be the difference between unlocking Star-Lord or not, stuff like that. So
for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely more helpful for like newer players or for older characters, for everything like that. So it's like, you know, if you're like, for you, Don, like I would go hard on those things because like they're, you know, we have them already 7 stars and maxed out, so it's not like, you know, I'll just do milestones and chill, and that's about it. Because, you know, that's just giving me Ultimus orbs essentially, you know, to unlock other characters, and then I don't really have a desire to go past like, you know, 10% or anything like that. But
you want to save your recharges.
Yeah, and then for this one, like you said, that's what I'm doing. Like I think your top Blitz predictions were like 7.8 million or something like that, and I'm hovering right around just over 8 million for this Blitz. So I think I'm just going to just do. Well, I went super hard, not because I want Vulture for a Sinister Six team, but just because I think that he's probably the best value out of that Sinister Six team, and I think it'll do pretty well even outside of a Sinister Six. So at least that's my thinking of it. So I'm just going to go. I'm going hard for him because I just unlocked Mysterio, I think, earlier this week, just from the milestones, and then and that's you know, that's what I'm going for. I'm just chilling. So now I'm at like just over 8 million. I think I'm just gonna, every time the reset hit is just find my teams. I have about 7 or 8 teams that are sure to win TM. For Blitz, and then I'll just go from that. So
and then the biggest thing I can suggest is you know, a lot of people complain when they get shards of a character that they don't care about, but you never know who you're gonna need for what. And so like a perfect example is like Hand Assassin. Like before Phoenix was announced, if you'd gotten a premium orb and you got 50 Hand Assassin shards, actually I think it might be marquee only, so maybe that's a bad example, but anyway, regardless, you know, if you know, you'd gotten a bunch of Hand Assassin shards from one thing or another, most people would have been like, "Oh, what a waste!" God, and they'd be complaining about it. But you never know. I mean, first there's the Hand Relic event, and that could be the difference between that extra star level and getting more ABCs, which are great. Now it's used to unlock Phoenix. So every character, good or bad, it's worth trying to get them. You may not enjoy having them as much. Like Vulture is just, you know, not on par with like Colossus. You know, they're just Colossus is better, but we have no idea. Like there's already the Sinister Six nodes. They changed the beta raid to have Sinister Six nodes, so you just never know what you're going to need something for. So every character is worth getting. A lot of people make that mistake of thinking like, "Oh, this is just a character I can pass on." Like you don't know that.
Yeah, or they'll rework them like Ronan. Ronan was a joke, used to be the worst character in the game, and then they made him like arguably pretty damn good. So
yeah, he's competent now. So now Bullseye is the laughing stock.
Oh yes.
Oh really?
What's his actual name? Jeremy on it or something? I can't remember what his actual name is. I
actually don't know.
It was just in the.
Bullseye be a very boring character in the comics. I usually don't give a shit about him.
You're not far off from anything else. So, yeah. So, what are you guys interested in? What's coming up outside of like what we just talked about? What was announced with this Fantastic Four? Is there like things coming up for this weekend, for next week? That's maybe since we'll be doing the next podcast.
You're allowed to say Khasino, whatever.
Well, I was not thinking of something in the immediate future, but I was going to say something pretty controversial.
Ooh, okay. Please do. I love this.
I may be part of the vocal minority that's really looking forward to ISO 8, also referred to as mods.
I've only known about this a little bit, just because I only know about ISO 8 very briefly, just from playing Ultimate Alliance 3, because that's in there as well. So I'm assuming it's probably the same concept where you can, I guess it's with mods, you have ISO 8 with plugging these different stats in for different characters and everything like that. You can upgrade your characters for each one, right? Or something along those lines.
Yeah, so imagine if you had a secondary gear inventory in addition to the gear slots that the characters currently have. Imagine they have a whole separate gear slot, except you customize the items in that gear slot. So unlike, the current one where you have to get the thing in the bottom left and everyone's Mysterio uses that one item, these you will, we have no idea how you'll obtain them, but you'll build them or craft them or upgrade them, and you'll choose which stats to put on someone. So you can put really heavy health in your Mysterio, or you can put really heavy damage in your Mysterio, or you can put really heavy focus in your Mysterio, and then a lot of types of games that have this type of mechanic will also have set bonuses. So like if you put 3 of the 6 pieces or however many it is worth as damage, then it comes with a bonus effect of like even more damage or whatever it is, or a bonus focus if you have the 3 damage pieces, whatever it is. And so, yeah, it kind of allows you to customize your characters and kind of attune them the way you want. So, like a good example I like to point to is like Killmonger. I don't know if I'd rather have just more damage on Killmonger because he already hurts a ton and he would be able to heal himself more, or if I'd want to go more crit on Killmonger because he already crits a lot, and if you could guarantee more crits, you could proc more of his effects, and that's still a damage increase. And then there's a question of like, if I went heavy crit on Killmonger, would that get his crit up to a point where it would then make sense to pair him with characters that give crit and make a crit-based team?
So that's interesting. Yeah, that opens up the conversation for like changing characters more, like having more diversity of teams, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, kind of, playing the way you want. You can, you can. Again, we don't know how extreme the stat gain will be, but assuming that it's at least a moderate amount of stats, there's just a lot of debate to be had on a lot of characters. Like, do you want to go high health on your Iron Fist so his heals are even better, or do you want to upgrade his damage so much that his one punch just always takes someone out? Stuff like that.
Right.
I'd be curious to see if they do like a positive and negative effect, because I know within Ultimate Alliance 3, there is something where like you gain 15% damage, but you take 5% more damage or something like that. That'd be interesting to see if they go that route. That'd be kind of cool. It's like weighing the positive and negatives for different stat buffs and whatnot. So it'd be, you could one shot somebody, but then, if you don't kill them, then you're fucked.
Yeah, you become more of a glass cannon. Yeah, I could see it, but I'll tell you this: there are some data mines out there of some of the stuff that they're looking at doing with ISO 8, and none of that suggests that they'll be doing something like that. It could totally be something they add, but it looks like it'll just be pure positive stat gain.
Gotcha.
Right.
I mean, that would be cool. So you have like a higher stat buff and with a negative effect to it. But I don't know, it'd be kind of cool. We'll see what happens with.
If you had to make trade-offs, that'd be cool. Like you can have super high focus but give up resistance. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's curious that like you're like probably one of the few people not who are actually looking forward to it, because a lot of
it makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of people talk.
He has so much shit. Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, I mean, it's one more thing to add to it, but like it kind of makes sense in the evolution of the games. Like, how do you customize this? How do you make these characters your own, and like really have not a sense of entitlement or whatever, but like a sense of progression,
ownership.
Or ownership.
Exactly.
Yes, that's the word I was looking for.
Exactly. It makes it. I mean, even though like that won't be too like crucial for me. I still see in the long run when I get to that point, I'll be happy about that shit because then there's more stuff for me to do. I'm not just like. That's the thing is you have to add new things always, and not always just new characters. Like you have to make the game. You always have to make the game more interesting, and you have to add things for people to do. You can't just like sit pretty. I get it.
Yep. Now I'll give you the counterpoint to why people are so upset about the introduction of mods, and it's based on things that we don't know are going to be the case. Now, it's how do I put this? It's a reasonable concern, and I do think it is the more likely thing to happen, but it has not been confirmed or stated in any way. And so people are freaking out about what they expect to happen based on no evidence. But so this game is very, very similar to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And also, I want to say Summoner's War, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And And so they both have mod-like systems, and the same two issues keep coming up with the mod systems in those games. I hear the same two complaints, and that is, firstly, that it is heavy, heavy, heavy RNG. So it's not as simple as like, oh, I just want a bunch of high damage pieces, so I'll just get the high damage piece ones. It's, basically I've opened, 12 mod orbs, and I got, health, armor, resistance, health, whatever, defense up, duration, and whatever it is. I just spent $50. I got no damage mods, or all the damage mods I got were +1, and I'm looking for +15, whatever it is. So the first thing is people are like, oh, I absolutely hate RNG deciding, if my Punisher is better or worse than your Punisher. And so we don't know that that's going to be the case, but if it sells, Foxnex smells money, they'll probably go for it. So I'm definitely trying to keep an eye on the situation, and I'm hoping, as someone in the Envoy program, we'll get to see it first. And if it's obnoxious RNG, I'm pretty confident that all the content creators will band together and be like, no, bad Foxnex, no.
Sure.
Yeah.
But we'll see. And then the other concern is making it to pay to win. Even if you can get the ones you want, but it's like, oh, you get one good mod every month, or for $100 you can get 5 of them. And it's like, well, not everyone has $100 to drop on this game whenever they want. But the people who do, now they're just creaming everyone else. So that's the other thing, is people are worried like, this could be heavy RNG, and this could be super pay to win. And so we don't know that either of those things are the case, but they're totally fair things to be concerned about. So all I can say is I'm trying to keep an eye on the situation the best I can, and I really don't want either of those things to be the case, because I love the idea of mods. But yeah, those two things could definitely make it a bit of a catastrophe.
Right, for sure.
So what are you looking forward to, Dom?
Literally whatever next legendary event is happening. I just want more characters, and I want more stronger characters. I've been asking around. I'm not. It's still right. Yeah, please tell me if you know.
Sue Storm.
Wait, really?
Absolutely. Says it in the in-game mail.
Oh, dang. I didn't even see that. I guess the last time that I actually asked someone was before that was announced, because I was going by what people guess via the previous roadmaps of what's going on. But okay, that makes sense. Well, I guess I'm not excited for that, just because I won't sorry, go ahead.
When you say previous roadmap, you mean like the very next one that's actually going to show up in the game?
Yeah, like either Star-Lord or we had Fury last.
Oh, okay. No. That's not Steel
Am I saying the wrong thing?
No. You're right. I just misunderstood. I thought you meant like what character will be the next new
I'm sorry.
legendary. No. The next one coming up is August 10th, Magneto.
Oh, damn. I'm not.
According to a date.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Subject to change. Asterisks.
I want Magneto, but what is the requirements for Magneto?
Brotherhood or X-Men characters. So there are now more X-Men characters, but yeah, 5-star Brotherhood or X-Men.
I think I actually have that.
Yeah, well, I got a week to get all your characters if you need to 5 stars, so you might be looking pretty
Not only
good.
that, you'll have about a week. They do the login calendar, so you get a few extra shards, and then they always have an offer. So if you have most of them and you're just short on one character, it might be worth it to buy them. Like if you just don't have Juggernaut, it's you look at it as like, if you buy that offer, not only are you making your Juggernaut more powerful, you're also getting Magneto. So.
For sure.
And he is a game changer, I will have to say, for a Brotherhood team. He is like the backbone of that team. As we were saying earlier, like the legendary characters have always been like the staple of the team. And with Magneto, he is by far.
Yeah, he does a lot of the work.
I'm pretty close. We'll see in a week how that goes. Most of them are 4 stars and not far from being 5 stars.
Well, it's not too late to power farm.
Yeah, you still got time. Sure. You just switch your focus to start working on that. I mean, you can farm pretty much everybody for the most part.
X-Force obviously does not count as X-Men, right?
It does not, unfortunately.
Deadpool and Cable are just sitting out in the
Damn, dude, my Deadpool is like so good right now for that. That sucks.
Yeah, but
that's what we said when they first introduced it.
Yeah, but yeah, going back, that's what I would love to get Magneto. Obviously, I just want more teams. Like right now, I'm happy with what I have, but obviously, I want more.
If you get Magneto, you immediately have another sure to win team for Blitz.
Right. Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah,
I am close to. I'm 4 Red Star Juggernaut, almost at the Fit Star. So we'll see. I need them to bring Gamma. Is it Gamma Raid?
I
Well, he's in the arena store.
But yeah.
Yeah, also arena store. So I'll be fine. I think I might get it. That'd be dope.
You should make a push for it. You'll have what 3 days with the event also. So if you don't get it by the time it starts, you can still continue to work on it.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. The event lasts for 3 days, so.
Yep, and you've got the login calendar, so you'll get a couple freebies, and then again, if you have to buy one offer, you're getting.
I did that with Kree. I was like, fuck it, I'm so close. I want Nick Fury. I just did it. I dropped it on for the Kree minions.
I'm guessing no regrets.
No, God, no. Having Nick Fury is. The Shield team may not be the best of anything, but they're just so well-roundedly good that I'm totally cool with it.
They're super strong everywhere, and when they were first introduced, they were the first legendary team of their kind like that.
Oh, really?
Yes, and they were just the best everywhere, and it just blew people's minds. People were flipping out because most people at that time, like the Kree minions, this was before a Kree rework, so the Kree minions were god awful, and Ronan was the worst character in the game. So no one farmed those characters. No one cared about those characters. Ronan didn't even have synergy with Kree minions, really. It was just a train wreck. And so no one went for it. And then the people that got Fury, suddenly the Fury Shield team was the best team in every game mode by a good stretch. And people are losing their minds. Because if you had a good Fury Shield team, you were just winning everywhere. It was ridiculous.
Dang.
Yeah, it was,
Charlie, what are you stoked for, man?
I'm actually kind of stoked for the Fantastic Four. I know we looked at it. I was kind of going back and forth to seeing what in my mind, if I was interested in it. And I don't know. I'm kind of just excited to have more characters. So I'm waiting. I would say more. Let me rephrase that. I'm going to say I'm stoked to see what the kit reveals are for the Fantastic Four.
Sure.
That's what's going to give me pause on whether or not I want to try to invest in those characters. So we don't know what types they're going to be, so I've just been stockpiling materials. I'm pretty low in bio stuff.
I think there's a pretty good idea. I mean, if I may guess, Thing would obviously be tank. Mr. Fantastic would be oh, sorry.
I meant what materials you need to unlock them, to level them up.
I can answer both of those things. So we are allowed to talk about leaks, and so there has been leaked footage from a dev server showing the Fantastic Four characters in the roster. So it's very possible that their tags have changed between then and now. But assuming that their tags did not change, all 4 of the Fantastic Four were bio, and Namor was mutant.
Sense, yeah.
All right.
So 4 bio, 1 mutant. And then you were talking about roles. It had then the Thing is a brawler. Human Torch was a blaster.
Interesting. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, blasters aren't always with guns. That makes sense.
I think Mr. Fantastic was a controller. I'd have to go back and look at the leak, but I believe he was a controller. And then I think Invisible Woman was the protector, which makes sense because her passive is all the barrier, or at least with
the shield and whatnot.
That's interesting. That's actually a pretty cool way to go about it, because you would just think Thing protector, but okay, that's pretty cool.
No, Thing apparently is all about that clobbering time.
Yeah, that's dope. I hope there is obviously one of his ult is clobbering time or something. It should be.
I doubt they'll leave it out.
Yeah, for sure. All right, that makes sense. That's cool. Yeah, bio makes sense too. I mean, none of them. I can't think of them being any kind of skill, or obviously no tech there. But see, Doom though, I'm interested to see.
Cosmic too.
Oh, that makes sense because they got their abilities in space. That's actually that's cool. That'd be a dope cosmic team.
Right.
That would be a dope cosmic team. But what would Namor be then? I guess he wouldn't be cosmic.
You'd have to fill Silver Surfer. Oh, you mean in general? Yeah.
I think he was global in the leak. I'd have to check. Pretty sure he was global.
That also makes sense. Yeah.
Have a look.
Yeah, that's dope. I'm really interested to see, once more characters come out in relation to them, the differences you could use them in different playstyles. The point you brought up, that's going to be really cool. So I'm with you there, Charlie. That is exciting to see them when they do come out.
Yeah. So that's what I'm looking forward to because, like I said, that just makes me determined whether I want to focus on them or not. Because I know I just like having different teams at the ready for different instances in war because that's really what I'm building for is blitz and war. So
Totally.
But that'll be good. So and then for the next thing that we do like a little segment and call it "We Love It or Hate It." So we talk about one thing that we love about the game so far and one thing that we hate about the game so far. So Khasino, since you are our guest this time, we'll let you go first about what you love and hate about the game.
Oof, pressure's on.
I know.
Let's see. I'm gonna say I love war in general. Not that I think war is a perfect game mode or there aren't improvements to make to war. I totally understand the more frustrating aspects of war, and there's parts of it I would fix for sure. But generally speaking, war for me is the most fun in terms of like seeing people be creative. So like I made a hybrid Mystic blind defense team, and they kind of look unassuming. So it's Mordo, Loki, Scarlet Witch, and then I've got I believe I know I have Hand Sentry, and then I have Shield Trooper. And so they look just like, just kind of like a random team. Like you don't have to use you can just kind of cobble together whatever around the same power and smash them down. But what happens is you end up getting, Loki's reducing everyone's resistance and increasing turn meter. Mordo is blinding everyone. Scarlet Witch is spreading around those blinds and heal blocking people. Sentry's giving people evades, and then Loki is putting people in stealth, and he's got the summons with the evades. And so you're trying to get through all these blinds and all these evades, and while you're wasting all these attacks not hitting anyone, Trooper is just retaliating. And then anytime you actually kill a summon, it's healing Mordo, which Scarlet Witch uses that health to rebalance everyone. And so it's actually a team that I came up with that works pretty dang well. And so most wars, I'll get a defensive victory. Someone will just have not been ready for it. And so like I live for those moments. So I think,
yeah, that's pretty fun. I love those like creative like defensive wins. You like look up and all of a sudden you have like 8 people have canceled their attacks because they can't figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff like that. And then, if we get like mods ISO 8 and can do things like, increase dodge chance and stuff like that, it can just make some really troll defenses.
Spider-Man's going to become more dodgy. Great. I can't wait.
Oh, right. God, so much fucking dodge, dude.
You're worried about Spider-Man. Vision is the one who ticks me off.
Oh, fair. Yeah, that's fair.
So what's one thing that you hate about the game right now?
Can I say selfishly that the fact that I've spent over $1,000 on red stars and still don't have a 7 red star?
Oh,
you can say that. Fuck yeah, that's something very. That's the art. Well, I guess that kind of equates to RNG in general.
First whale problems.
First whale problem.
True. Fucking true. I don't blame you. I'd be annoyed as fuck as that too. You kidding me?
Annoyed. Dropped $60 on red stars literally yesterday on stream. Someone donated for it and got nothing but duplicates from the normal red star orbs. Got enough for an elite 4. Got a duplicate from that. My total return on $60 was 750 elite 5 shards.
Huzzah!
Dude, that's insane.
Yeah, brutal. Absolutely brutal. So
that's
not a fan of that. You could argue like, oh, that's self-inflicted. Simple solution, just don't buy red stars. But
hey, it's in the game.
That, and I'm going up against alliances that they don't care about my financial situation. I have to, or I'm going to get clobbered. So,
yeah, no, that's fair, man. I don't blame you. I'd be annoyed with that too. Obviously, that's a fucking lot of money for shit RNG.
100%. So, all right, Dom, what do you love and what do you hate?
I love Arena as a game mode. I'm a pretty competitive person, and then lately I've been getting better and better at it. Like I hit my all-time best today at 19.
Nice.
Yeah, I was pretty stoked on that. That it's been like a really long road to get to that. I mean, I remember when I first started, it was like I was so stoked to get to 100, and now if I get past 40, like overnight, I'm like, fuck, all right, let's go. You know what I mean? So that's been really fun. Like obviously, defenders are the ones that have been taking me through that. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to have a better arena team once I get more crews up.
Let me just ask you. You said your brawler team was the most reliable for punching up in blitz. You don't use a brawler team for arena?
I haven't yet because the highest I've punched up, my brawler team is at 111, and the highest I've punched up and like nearly lost at was like 170, and everyone I'm going against are above 200. So I just feel like I would like when I get them to 150, I'll probably bring them into arena to really push that more. But as it stands, I'm sitting comfy between 19 to 40.
I gotcha. I just thought maybe their power was higher. So, but also there are Defender Brawler hybrids. So something
I've seen that. Yeah, I've been seeing that, which is pretty interesting. Like, I could do like Daredevil, Iron Fist, Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, and maybe America Chavez.
Or Luke Cage if you want to be safer and have the defense ups and stuff.
Yeah,
and have 2 taunts to keep the others alive. But
yeah, that's probably better. I do really enjoy America Chavez's passive stuff and everything she has with brawlers, but I have shitty stars on her. She's 3 stars at 2 red stars, so she's not as. Yeah, I would honestly kill to have her higher just because I enjoy all of her abilities so much. I think A, her animations are cool as fuck.
Yeah.
B, I love the synergy she has with brawlers. And C, I like her character a lot. Like I love the Ultimates that she's a part of in the current Marvel universe, and she's fun as fuck. But that's a good point. I probably would get pretty far with that. I didn't even think about that, to be honest.
Mess around with it. And then one other question. I know I'm kind of derailing the
please
segment
do.
A little bit, but just kind of curious. Have you experienced a shard merge yet with Arena?
What is that?
I
have 100%, but
what does that mean?
All right, so I just want to caution you on this. So that there are multiple Arena shards, right? Obviously, you're at rank 19, but it's not rank 19 in the entire game in Arena.
Right.
There's different Arena shards, and so what'll happen is, especially if you're a newer player, is they start Arena shards to try to keep you around newer players, but inevitably there's just a certain percentage of players that always quit any game. That's just inevitable. And so after a certain amount of time, I don't know what the numbers, but let's say they have a 10,000 person Arena shard. Once they get to again, I don't know what the numbers, but let's say it's now we're down to 3,000 active people on that 10,000. They'll grab another shard that's around the same and merge them together, and then you go from being number 19 to just sitting around number 50, just because they merged it together, and so the top guys from the other Arena shard also came over. So it's inevitable, but yeah. So I just kind of wanted to warn you, if just suddenly one day, now you're struggling to break into the top 50, it's not because you screwed up or did anything bad. It's just they'll eventually do an Arena shard merge. They won't announce it.
Could it be actually in my favor? Because I've actually noticed lately that I've been doing way better since I've in the last week or so. Could that merge and it'd be better for me? Because I've noticed that I'm fighting a lot of people that I'm beating easier, and I don't know what the deal is with that.
if they brought in a bunch of people and even those top people are a little bit behind you, then it would give you more people to beat. But it shouldn't like if you had 18 people just always in front of you on your own shard.
Yeah,
it wouldn't remove some of them, so it shouldn't help you get farther, but it might make your climb back to your normal spot easier.
Okay. It's funny. I'm actually looking at 3088 Shane right now. He's in my Arena squad.
Oh, kick his ass.
Shane, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm about to take your number 18 spot. Well, it wouldn't be worth it to punch down. But yeah, so that's so funny. Arena's definitely I love. The thing I don't love is I really wish that they would change training mats. I think that it's bullshit to train a character and I have to do training mats and gold. Why am I trying to get all these training mats when I also have to dump 1 million fucking gold into something? And I think it should just be just the training mats, right? I mean, is that too easy? I mean, I don't know. I think it's bullshit to have gold and training mats.
I see where you're coming from with that. I have mixed feelings on that one. It's the other interesting thing is so what they've done is they've played around a bit. When people throw around the phrase gold gate, what they actually did, the very first gold gate was a legitimate scandal. And what it was is they do something called A/B testing, where they'll give certain things to one group of players, but not another, and see how that impacts stuff. So the reason for the training module handicap is if it was just something there, but you kind of always had enough of it, and so it was just kind of background noise, but it was just one extra thing to click. They wanted to see if people enjoy that, it's this other resource we need, but I'm always good on it. Or they gave a bunch of people who are new more gold. They just gave them an extra 250K from their daily achievements every day. And they're if people have more gold, they will then be limited by the training modules, right? Because they'll spend all their gold and run out of training modules with gold still to spend. I said that completely wrong, but you get what I'm saying?
No, I get what you're saying.
When you have plenty of gold, suddenly it's training modules you're running out of. And so I think that's why they had the two resources to see which people prefer. Like if we give people a ton of gold, how much of it is actually going towards training people compared to other things? And then do people enjoy being stuck by training modules, or do they like just always having more than enough of them? So I don't know what the results were from their experimentation. And a weird thing, and I'm interested to see how you feel about this. There have been some advantages to being a soft launch player. One thing you could say they messed up in soft launch that has just been wonderful for me from the start is they used to give us a ton of training modules, and then they decided to kind of walk it back and not give us so much. But
okay.
I have so many bank training modules that I've never, ever run out of training modules. I've just always had more than I need.
Yeah,
so
I've been in the same boat. I haven't had any problems with training modules. I think I have like 160 T4 training modules or whatever it is. So I've never had an issue with it. So
yep, but I hear new players who, I mean, you're about to hear it again. Here, go for it.
Oh, I have shit. Training modules are suck. I'm fucked on both. I fucked on both. I have I have one character at level 70, even though I've been 70 now for nearly a month. Because I just need gold for shit, and I've been slowly putting other characters into the 60s. Like 60s is where I want at least all my good characters at. I know that if they were all 70s, they'd be better, but like I don't have 1 million gold to do any of this. For the first time ever, like 2 days ago, I hit 1 million gold orb for the first time ever.
Oh, nice.
It was the best. Oh my God. I like fucking screamed. It was like, Jesus.
And then 2 minutes later, gone.
Gone. Literally gone. 100%.
Yep. Gone in
so
60
yeah,
seconds.
I don't know. It's a little tough.
Yeah, it's pretty rough the way they do that. And yeah, I hear plenty of the newer players like, I don't have training modules, I don't have gold. The one piece of advice I can give is there is like a midway efficiency point. Someone mathed it out, and the best bang for your buck is to bring everyone to 63.
Oh, thank you for telling me that, because that's going to happen right now.
Yep. Now, like your main arena team, get them to 70 if you can.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
And the logic behind that is the more power cores you get, the easier everything else gets.
Okay.
Yeah, so like for new character, like I've been in the top 10 for about a month now since unlocking Ultron. So I'm hovering. I used to buy power cores, like I was like running out, just I throw $100 here, like maybe once every 6 months for power cores. But I'm hovering around like 5,300 power cores just from being in the top. I try to finish in like the top 5 for arena, so you get around 250 to 500 depending on where you finish. So, and that's every day. So having that allows you to buy, like if you need gold, you buy gold ore for 450 power cores, which is 1 day of arena. Or if you have the new characters come out that you really want, you can buy the character shards with power cores. So there's that. So
yeah, that's fair.
Yep, or you can just do that one extra refresh to hit that extra milestone, to get the extra milestone orb, which can give you the extra gold orb frags, to give you the extra gold orb, whatever it is. There's a lot of trickle down benefit, but yeah, just you won't find anyone who doesn't think the extra power cores aren't worth it.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. Well, in the interest of time, because we try to keep this like quick and to the point for this our MSF podcast, I'm just to do a quick what I love and what I hate, and that is I really love all the new characters coming out with what they're releasing and everything. I just hate how much I don't have materials for them. That's what really sucks for me, because I would love to level up all my characters more, but I just do not have the ability to do so. So
that's the name of the game.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's that. Be good, but
it's funny. I love that we both have a similar dislike, even though we're so far in the spectrum of each other of where we sit in the game.
Yeah. Well, it's never going to go away, Dom. You're going to have this.
That's and that's fine. I'm super lucky. Like I have a really great like clan with like MCU Legion who've let me like hang out with them, and I do like all the chill stuff. But like the raids and war benefits are way better than anything I could be getting if I was in a clan of people my level. Like I got to where I am mostly because of playing with them. What I mean?
Nice! Found an alliance that'll carry you. That's what
I've been very lucky.
For.
Yeah,
I've been very lucky.
He's here with us in the MCU Avengers cluster.
Oh wow!
So. Yeah, well, I mean, it's because Charlie obviously like put a word in for me, and one of the smaller clans needed people who they were chill with like being lower, and I mostly just debuff or bait or whatever, but that's fine. Like I'm chill with that. I get the benefits far outweigh anything else. So
people underestimate how much activity is worth. If you're a lower player but you're very, very active, it pays to shop around and find an alliance that's above your weight class. Because some of them are like just going through, they're finding plenty of strong people, but those people are flaky. They go out on the weekends. They forget to do their raid nodes. And I think they'd rather, it doesn't take that long to catch up once you're getting those good rewards.
Yeah.
So,
I definitely I pull my weight, which is nice. Like, I'm always on the ready to like debuff in war or like finish my nodes. I get the nodes fairly well in all the raids, so it's good.
Then you're
having that defenders team is nice.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm
That's
almost
why
at
I keep telling everyone. Everyone
collection.
always asks me on streams like, "Who's a good team to start off with?" Defenders. Like, there's a reason for it. So you can get through 90% of the modes if you need to. So
yeah, totally.
But next we talked about is just a quick recap for Red Stars. Khasino, I know you said that you spent $60 in Red Stars and got nothing for it.
Salt the wound, dude.
I don't want to talk about it.
So for me, I haven't done much with Red Stars. I have 80 orbs ready to go. I've been actually wanted to ask if
80 orbs.
80 Red Star orbs. I mean, last time I think we had some leftover from when we did the last Whale Wars with Shocker, and I haven't really opened them since. I was waiting for maybe Cyclops with my elites because I know he's going to go right on my X-Men team, but I don't know what we're going to do next. I might open some for. I might open like 15 or 20 for the next Fantastic Four for when the thing gets announced. So I'm curious to see what happens with that. But majority of them are waiting for Cyclops because he's going to be ridiculously overpowered, and I can't wait. So.
Yep. Now I will just one small word of caution. No reason to assume that this is going to happen, but so there's been a kind of an established trend where a character who's a more prominent character, but not the biggest character, like not a legendary character, looks really, really good. The two instances that come to mind are Okoye and Loki. When Okoye was first announced, the version of Okoye we saw was amazing.
Right.
Particularly with Miss Marvel and BP, it was just going to be just 100% assist chance on BP's turn was just nuts. And they let us fight against that version of Okoye, but by the time it came to release, they were like, we got to tune this down. This is a little bit much. Did the same thing with Loki. He used to gain 100% turn meter on spawn, always go first, just was crazy. And same thing, they let us fight that version of Loki and delayed the release for a while, and eventually like, all right, this is a bit much. We got to tone it down. Both those characters had their release delayed a while and then eventually got nerfed. I'm not saying that there's any reason to believe this is going to happen to Cyclops, but just looking at Cyclops, he looks so good. So there's just that little bit of fear.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anything's better than Wolverine right now, so I'll take that.
I just got a 6 Red Star Wolverine not too long ago, so I think I'm stuck with him.
You're stuck with him forever.
I have 5 Red Star Wolverine.
Yeah, he's only 2 for me. What about you, Don? What do you got for Red Stars? You just said 5 Red Star, but
when you asked that, are we talking about like best Red Star or just in general? Like
just in general, like since last week, like what's new with Red Stars for you?
I think the last thing I told you was the 5 Red Star Captain Marvel, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's pretty dope. I'm pretty jealous about that. My Captain Marvel
that's amazing.
I haven't got anything after that. That's all I'm working with right now.
But
yeah,
as
it's
a
great.
New player, go all in on her.
Oh, dude, totally. That's honestly it's when I got that I started really pushing the Brawlers team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's amazing.
She's so fucking
tier 4s in the ult and the passive without hesitation.
Right. Totally. And yeah, I've been dumping into. That's really why the Brawlers team has been like number 1 lately, because that's so good. she nukes everything.
All right, it's 5v4 time.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's great. I love it. And she just I like her character is really cool. How she's always flying, and binary is a really fun thing. And yeah, but other than that, I haven't got anything since we talked last. Unfortunately, I just keep getting so many dupes. Like it's not disheartening, but even it's actually no, it is, especially after hearing Khasino's RNG with it. Like that's a lot. You know what I mean? That's a lot to get shit on. So
it happens. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
But
So What about you?
How are you guys sitting with war this week? I know we've had, 3 wars or something like that since we last recorded, Dom? So I know we won 2 of them. We're currently losing our one that's going on. We have one that's going on for another hour and a half, and we're down by 40 right now.
We're losing our one right now. The clan has made it. It's really nice. While summer's active, the Friday wars are volunteer. So
yeah, we have the same with our weekend wars as well. So
yeah, the weekend one. So we're losing this one right now, but I think we won the last 2 also. But it's all good. Like I can't complain either way. I know obviously the higher ups in the clan probably could, but I'm good either way. But yeah, losing this one, no one's around. But Sunday, baby, it's the weekend. I get it.
What about for you, Khasino? How are things going with your clan?
There's a little bit of turmoil. So my whole thing is I really want to be a war-focused alliance. Like, it's my favorite game mode, and I've been saying it since a year before war released. Like, I want everyone to go ham for war. But the problem is the way they currently have war set up. That means either people can't spend any of their blitz credits farming any characters. They just have to only buy war boosts and energy, or they have to buy that $9.99 pack. And I don't want to put my alliance members in a position where they have to spend. Sure. But I don't want to deny them everything from the blitz store either. So it's kind of a catch-22. But so we lost 2 and won 1, the one today. But the losses were, we full cleared both times. We just full cleared too slowly. And I'm in a very awkward position. So the current time slot I'm in is designed so that the war starts an hour before my stream, so that when I hop on stream, people get to see a lot of Alliance War gameplay. That's when I'll buy all my extra attacks. It's still early enough. It's like I'll start a half hour early, so it's 30 minutes into the war. Great time to do a bunch of war activity.
That's fair.
Yeah, it lets people see the most exciting part. They'll see me take my X-Men team into an Ultron team, all the high level war stuff. Yeah. However, the way that times out is when the war is ending, it ends if both teams are super, super efficient about clearing, it ends at 5 in the morning.
Oh, yeah. Dang.
Right. You can see how that's a problem. So we'll be ahead the whole time, and then we'll wake up at 8 a.m. and they already won.
Yeah.
And then we'll go ahead and full clear them, but it doesn't matter.
No, so
that's how both of our losses were this week. But the problem is, so we're really concerned, should we switch time slots? And we tried it a while back thinking let's just make sure that it ends around 10, 11 in the morning when a lot of people are around to play. And the problem was we were getting off to slower starts when it was starting at 6 p.m. Just less people were around and super active. And so when we got off to slower starts, we kind of fell behind and lost buff rooms, and it became tough to catch up, and we were having trouble getting in a position to full clear. So yeah, I don't know what we're going to do.
I realize I've watched you a lot doing every mode except for war, and now I really want to see you fucking kick ass in war. I can't believe I every time I come in, you're doing something different. I got to time that better because I want to see that.
You got to get there early. On war days, I'll usually start around 12:30 Pacific, and that's when you'll catch it.
So what day should I come in to watch that?
I think everyone's war days are the same. I'm in the very first war slot. Yeah, I mean there's four windows, and it's every 6 hours.
Oh, it's the time window that's different for some people. For you get to choose. It's not the days.
Right. The maximum difference is 24 hours offset.
Okay.
But yeah, So within most people, it's within 6 to 12 hours.
3:30 my time to watch. Okay, I'll make sure to set a.
Well, let's see. We have a war ending in an hour and a half, which we've already won. So whenever that means the next one is, that would be Tuesday. 12:30.
Cool. And then I guess for our last piece, just any little team advice you might have for anyone out there trying to push or I know that newer players is a little more difficult, but just some anything new you got going on or things you've been futzing with, or just some team advice.
Oh, I mean, I could talk for 5 hours on that prompt, but
I know I feel like a lot of the cool teams that the meta teams, I feel like they've come from you, really, right? I mean,
I've coined a couple.
Tech was you, right?
Tech was me, but so Tech was me and Seaton at the same time, and I'm hesitant to take credit for Tech. I was one of the first to be using Tech.
Got it. Okay.
But it felt kind of natural, and the fact that Seaton had the same idea at the same time, it wasn't excuse me, super hidden. The one team I'll take complete and total credit for was like the What Are You Blind team. But a lot of the teams are like pre-built, so I can't be like, I was the first to use the Brotherhood. Right. I knew they'd all work together well.
That's fair.
But so I will, like, by virtue of I test out all the new characters, good or bad. I invest a lot in every new character because we don't have a test server. So I'll be the guinea pig.
You are the test server.
Yeah, I am the test server. They call me the people's whale for that reason. I will invest and get 5 stars on Shocker and 4 red stars on Shocker and get him straight to level 70 and all that, knowing like he's just not that great of a character. But let's get him as strong as we can and see what he can do. So I'm usually the first to find out where a team excels. Like I was among the first to show that the original Spider-Verse does really well in a Fury Shield, but I was just one of the only people who invested hundreds and hundreds of dollars into a Spider-Verse team, which prior to that, no one had seen any reason to do so.
Right.
So I'll be the first to be like, oh no, they actually are really good at this.
Right.
Don't know that it justifies it, but so that. But I will say this, in terms of team advice, there's one piece of advice that a lot of people often overlook. So I do want to put this out there for the people listening. A lot of people come to me and say like, oh, I've got 5 red stars on my Captain Marvel, so I'm thinking of going Brawlers. But then I'm going to get Star-Lord next time he comes around, so I'm thinking about going Guardians. And then I actually got 7 red stars on my Loki, so I'm wondering, should I make a Mystic team? And people like all over the place, like what do I work on? And while there are, it's totally possible to just get like that 7 red star character and be like, no, like this is your path. But the right general advice is get your campaigns done ASAP. Right. You want to be able to fully farm all the campaigns. So even though, like, yes, I'm aware Brotherhood is a better team than the Mystic team. But if you haven't completed the Mystic campaign, you really ought to be doing that because there's valuable purple items and character shards that you will need for that Brotherhood team that you do want to farm. Just get it done, get it out of the way, and then you have so much more you can farm. So if you have not done Cosmic campaign and Mystic campaign, work on your best Cosmic characters and your best Mystic characters. I promise it will pay for itself. Get it done.
No, you're absolutely right. Like, farming is obviously what you need to do in this game, and there has been plenty of times where the fucking node for me to farm in campaign is grayed out because I didn't do it. And you're absolutely correct.
I'm telling you, it's the way to go. And then the other thing is a lot of people lose sight of, like, you'll hear a lot of people complain like, oh, I had to put so many resources into this garbage character. And like, don't get me wrong, I definitely understand, like, oh, I had a bunch of resources and my choices were Captain Marvel or, Hand Archer. And I put everything in Hand Archer. Like, no kid, of course Captain Marvel would have been better. But there's no sense in beating yourself up about it. Like, every character has a use somewhere for something. Even the worst characters, even your garbage AIM characters, even your garbage Hydra characters, there are raid nodes that are trait restricted where you'll need them. You never know what new legendary event is going to need them. You use Hand for the relic, use garbage mercenary for payday. So just whatever you invest in, like, forward progress is all that matters. So I wouldn't stress too much about who's getting which resources. Obviously there's more optimal picks, but at the end of the day, every investment, if you have a giant Hand Archer, it's still going to throw someone for a loop in war. It's still extra competent in things like raid. And this is the other thing that I think I hope we get a test server immediately because I really want to show people this. One thing we learned from the test server is no matter who the character, no matter how bad their kit, no matter how lacking they are in synergy, if you give a character enough health, enough damage, enough focus, enough armor, etc., they're competent. Again, Captain Marvel is going to be better than Hydra Grenadier every single day, of course. But
100%.
But if you have a 60k Hydra Grenadier, you can use him. He will get stuff done. He'll survive more than one raid node. It's not optimal, but it's tough to make a really bad investment. Like, the only way to fall behind in this game is to waste currency.
Right.
But
fair.
If you're being smart about the value you're getting for it, it's okay to put it on suboptimal characters. It will pay off. You will use them somewhere. Even if you have nowhere to use them today, it's only a matter of time. Sooner or later, that guy with the maxed out Hydra team that he did for shits and giggles, he will eventually get the last laugh. And the other thing is, you never know when reworks are coming. Cerebro suggests that there's an AIM rework on the way. I know for a fact there's at least a few players who are like, no, I don't care. I love my AIM team. I put everything into them. My AIM team is like almost 300k. I know it's terrible. I don't care.
We've seen that in war. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. But just inevitably there will come a day, and then all of a sudden that guy will be laughing at everybody.
Right, for sure.
So,
he's like, well, look at you nerds. I'm fucking killing it now. That's funny.
Yep. Yeah. Aim team new meta. Get wrecked, noobs.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Khasino, thank you very much. That's going to do it for us for on this episode of the MSF Insider podcast. You can find us at og.podcast on the Instagrams, OverachieversP on the Twitters, beingoverachiever.com on the internets, all the plurals for everything. You can find Khasino at twitch.tv/Khasino, 1 p.m. Pacific time, streaming every day. You'll be on later today. We'll stop in and say hey. So,
thanks for letting me ramble.
Of course. Thanks for being on board. We'll see you hopefully in a future episode of this whenever we have some more peeps. So, anyway, thank you very much, Khasino. Dom, catch you later.
Yep. Wait. Let me throw in one little surprise thing, actually. So I recently, I didn't even think about this. Wasn't planning on it, but let's do it. I recently met up with Cerebro while I was down in Southern California, and he hooked me up with a crate of Marvel Strike Force exclusive Marvel comics. Like, they are official Marvel comics one-offs. So yeah, let me give you guys one to give away. However you guys want to do that. You can leave comments on this or something, but go ahead and pick a winner. Just shoot me their info, and I'll send someone an official Marvel Strike Force exclusive Marvel
Maybe we do a giveaway in one of our next streams, because that's easy with Nightbot, right?
Yeah, I haven't set that up with Nightbot. We'll have to figure out how to do that. But yeah, that'd be a good idea. So maybe I'll put this on YouTube with the audio video. So leave a comment below if you like the video. Maybe give us a little review, and then we will.
That's a good idea.
And if you review this on iTunes, review this on whatever where we get your podcast, and give us something, and we'll choose one person from the review to at random for this. So the more people review it, the more chances you get. So thanks again. Thanks for that, Khasino. That's great. Yeah, we'll do that for sure.
By all means.
Cool. Thanks, y'all.
All right. Thanks, you guys, for tuning in. We'll see you guys. One quick announcement for that. Since normally we try to do this every week, we're going to push this back. We're going to do next week an episode, and then we're going to switch it to every other week, so that way it's weekly content for Overachievers and this. So we're just our schedule's getting a little bit too hectic to do this every week. But so you'll have Overachievers Gaming Podcast be every other week. So, and then this will be following that. So it'll be every week there will be new content for us and our listeners. So if you like our original podcast, take a listen to that. Otherwise, you'll get this every other week as well. So cheers.